Bill, he left out the toughest job I've ever had, and that was city manager. You know, I look out here and I see the concern on all of your faces, and I want to reassure you this morning, the ice sculpture is working very well. First of all, thank you for giving me this opportunity to make this address on behalf of the great team we have running your city. And I want to introduce some of these people this morning. First is our elected officials, our new Mayor Pro Tem, Jeff Sanford. Stand up, Jeff, if you would, hold your applause. Commissioners Debbie Nunley, Pam Smith-Wright, and Bob Glenn. What a great team of elected officials. And our management team. First is our city manager, Mr. Bill Parrish. Bill, stand up. Our assistant city manager and city attorney, Ed Ray. Our chiefs, Art Elam, best police department in the country. Our fire department, Steve Mitchell. Angela Helmerich, our director of finance. Wayne Shelton, director of public works. Parks director, Amanda Rogers. And if you would, all the other city employees who do such an outstanding job for you. Last year, at this time, I predicted 2014 would be a phenomenal year. Our city would be re-energized and thousands would return to attend events at our convention center and throughout the city, and our economy would improve. It happened. The primary goal in redeveloping our community was economic development. Grow the economy, and grow it we did. Our GDP growth for 2012 to 2013 reported last year was 6.3%, exceeding both the state and national growth. People are returning to visit our city and are amazed at the transition. The Convention Visitors Bureau saw a banner year with the room tax paid by these visitors up 31% from the preceding year for the first 5 months of the fiscal year. The good economic news continued with the city coming in at number 3 for construction job growth and an unemployment rate of 4.8%, which was lower than both the state and national rates. Our Riverport continues to fulfill its economic development mission with the construction of a new dock and starting construction on a processing facility that will create new jobs and bring investment dollars into our city. Are there anyone here, board members from the Riverport Authority? Mike, stand up. I saw John. We got anybody else from the Riverport? They are doing such a wonderful job. But it's not just our economy that is doing well. 2014 was a great year for infrastructure growth, sports, public safety, and our quality of life. We have a little video we'd like to share with you now. The skating begin. great year we had in 2014, but I've got to tell you, it's only going to get better as we go forward. Our city's revenues continue to grow without any increases in property taxes. The rates have remained the same for the last 7 years. Our net profit tax, a tax on business profits, continues to set all-time records, which is a good indication of the increasing economic activity in our community. Our initial public investment has been overtaken by private dollars, and private investment will continue to grow in 2015. Some examples last year include the Sports Academy, Evansville's Teachers, Federal Credit Union, 2 Tractor Supply Company stores, 1 on the east and 1 on the west end. And there are other businesses and construction activity going on in this community as we speak. Our second hotel is scheduled to open soon, with another Broken Egg offering an additional downtown dining option. The number of restaurants will continue to increase in our downtown. Terry Woodward, and I believe Terry is here this morning, has informed me that he has reached agreement with a company to bring Mellow Mushroom to the Bates Building across from the famous bistro. And CYO, yes, let's give him a round of applause. And he told me the other day he anticipates that restaurant would be open in the first quarter of this year. CYO Brewing is soon to open, and I also expect we may hear about El Torribo's replacement in 2015. Is that not right, Jack, Matt? The old showroom lounge platform will soon be transformed into the pier, a great addition to our attractions downtown. It will open in time for the Barbecue Fest. Once it is completed, we will continue to extend the river walkway behind the convention center and Holiday Inn, giving our community even more access to the river. We will continue to define and dress up our downtown streets by rebuilding Frederica Street intersections at 3rd, 4th, and 5th Streets. We will add 128 more downtown parking spaces across from the convention center while continuing to pursue grants for a new parking garage. We continue to pursue every opportunity to market our community. I have accepted an invitation to give the keynote address to the annual River Summit at the University of Dayton, Ohio, and I will also speak to the Paducah Chamber of Commerce in March. We will meet our pledge, as the judge pointed out, of $1 million for the construction of Phase 2 of the Advanced Technology Center at the community college, another tool in our economic development tool bag. 2015 will bring new construction and jobs at the Riverport as a new processing facility for Salve is on its way to completion. Inter-city development will continue to be one of our priorities. And as we close out Mechanicsville, we will move to the Triplet Street area with a project we are calling Triplet Twist. As before, we are seeking input from the neighbors and businesses in that area as we proceed. Much work has been accomplished to reduce flooding in our community. We will continue those efforts along Sherm Road as we move towards Wesleyan Park Plaza. We will expand our ever-popular Greenbelt in the east, taking advantage of the abandoned lanes on the former bypass. Our ultimate goal is to buckle our Greenbelt in downtown. Explosive growth is occurring along the Highway 54 corridor. This growth, coupled with a change in state law, will allow the city to pursue the creation of a tax increment financing district. This district will permit the city the opportunity to take advantage of state tax revenue to cover infrastructure costs and annex 205 acres, the largest annexation the city has ever done. Working with Gateway Commons, this project will consist of residential, retail, commercial, and entertainment projects, stopping the retail leakage and growing our community. We will continue to work with the state and county on the widening of Highway 54 to handle the increasing traffic that will occur as a result of this growth. Traffic congestion will continue to challenge us as we grow, and grow we will. One such issue is the congestion at the old Hartford Road and Fairview Drive. More details about a project at this location to relieve traffic congestion will be forthcoming from the Transportation Cabinet soon. We will also pursue a new sister city relationship with Stamford, England. They have much in common with us, and such a relationship could benefit both cities. I have invited their mayor and his delegation to attend a new event that we are starting this year, the Mayor's Ball. Many of you indicated after the gala opening of the convention center that we should have an event such as this each year. It will be a fundraising event with a bluegrass focus this year. We are working on it for April, and details will follow. We continue to work on the creation of the International Bluegrass Music Center in the heart of our downtown. I and others feel it will be a game changer for our community. We are close to making this dream a reality. I firmly believe the state will assist us, and fundraising continues. I am hopeful we can break ground on this center in May of this year. We have taken initial steps to develop a dog park in our city. We have all seen how popular the riverfront is for walking dogs. A dog park is needed here, and I've asked Steve Caslin to form a group to develop ideas for creating one. And I believe Steve is here this morning. Steve, I appreciate your willingness to undertake this project. Much has been achieved, and this progress will continue into the new year, but challenges lie ahead. In this new year, I want to begin the dialogue on 4 issues. First, the creation of an Owensboro Arts Council. Funding the many arts programs in our community continues to be a challenge. These organizations, and there are many, contribute tremendously to our quality of life and deserve to be supported. The city contributes $866,000 a year to the arts. I have been told by one business that they would increase their contribution to the arts if there was one central group to handle these contributions, thus eliminating the need to choose between them. The city has for years now given all of its social funds to the United Way, who then decides how these monies are distributed. It has worked well. Will such a concept work for the arts? Needs to be discussed. Second is the OMU dividend payment to the city. This dividend of $6.4 million is a major source of revenue to the city, and we could not operate the city without this revenue. It is paid by our own OMU customers and are those who live primarily within the old bypass. It may be possible to replace this dividend with an increase in the occupational tax and actually reduce the overall cost to our citizens. The occupational tax is paid by all those working in the city, regardless of where they live. Those living outside the city would be contributing to our operations. We could swap the dividend out with an occupational tax increase. This would expand our tax base while allowing a reduction in utility cost. Owensboro taxpayers could see a greater decrease in their utility costs compared to the increase in the occupational tax. Residents would realize a yearly household savings of up to $183 and a total savings of $3,359,000, requiring no increase in the net profit tax. There are several benefits to this approach. First is economic development impact of lower utility cost. Second is business retention. Third, there is a tax deduction allowed for the occupational tax, which is not available for the utility cost. And fourth is a benefit to the retirement community living on fixed income. They would see a decrease in utility costs without a corresponding increase in an occupational tax. It is the second issue we need for you to consider. Third is the need for a new senior center. It is needed, and your elected officials are committed to seeing it accomplished. The current proposal is to build a new facility costing about $8 million to be located in Moreland Park. Funds still need to be raised. There may be an alternative. The proposed new TIF district on Highway 54 may present an option we did not previously have. It is estimated this TIF will produce considerable tax revenue over its 20-year life. more than will be needed for the infrastructure cost of the Gateway Commons project. It has been suggested that a community center with a senior citizens component be constructed by a third party and be reimbursed by the TIF tax revenue. This would not require any upfront cost on the city's part or any need for fundraising. A community center is needed in this fast-growing area of our city, and we may be able to address two needs with one project. Needs to be discussed. Last is an interstate connection. I am confident the city will have an interstate connection someday. What this connection will look like is still to be determined, and we need to continue to work with our partners to the north and federal and state representatives to define this connection. Our long-term future depends on accomplishing this project. It's an exciting time to be living in Owensboro. We have accomplished much, and working together, we can reach even greater heights. Let's keep climbing. Thank you all this morning.